They say the world will be plunged into darkness on August 2. Many have heard this sentence. Some laughed, some feared, some ignored it, but very few paused and asked, what kind of darkness? When the sun disappears, it is not the absence of light that disturbs us. It is the confrontation with our own reflection, the silence, the emptiness, and the truth we often avoid. Darkness, then, is not just outside, it is within. If the sky truly turns black, what will you see first? Will it be your surroundings, or will it be your inner state that becomes visible? When light disappears, clarity is not lost, it is born in another form. Because in the absence of distraction, presence is possible. Do not wait for the eclipse to show you what you are. You must already be preparing, not by collecting food or charging devices, but by stilling the mind, disciplining the breath, and aligning your thoughts with purpose. Because when fear rises in the hearts of the unprepared, calm rises in the hearts of those who trained. The sun may hide on August 2, but your awareness must not. The question is not, will the world go dark? The real question is, will you remain awake? This darkness, if it comes, is not punishment. It is opportunity to close your eyes and see clearer, to feel the breath move through the body like wind through trees, to become unmoved like a mountain and fluid like water. So do not ask for the light to return. Ask only that when the darkness arrives, you do not run from it. Sit with it, breathe with it, learn from it, because after every night there is always a dawn, but only those who are conscious in the dark truly appreciate the sun. Darkness is a mirror, not because it shows you what you want to see, but because it shows you what you truly are. When all light is removed, when distractions, noise, and external validation vanish, only your essence remains. In that silence, the mind has no one left to blame, no more masks to wear. You are left with the raw, unfiltered presence of your own being. People often chase the light, believing it to be salvation. But light without understanding creates shadows, and in those shadows we hide our fears, our pain, our regrets. Darkness brings those shadows forward. It removes the illusion that everything is fine just because it appears bright. When there is nothing to see on the outside, you are invited, sometimes forced, to look within. This is why so many fear the dark, not because it is evil, but because it is honest. It doesn't comfort you with colors or movement. It doesn't entertain, it reflects, and in that reflection, you begin to notice the parts of yourself that you've neglected, the thoughts you suppress, the feelings you bury, the questions you never dared to ask, they rise. But this is not punishment, it is opportunity. It is a sacred space where growth can begin. In darkness, roots take hold. In stillness, strength is born. You learn to sit, to breathe, to face what you had long ignored. And slowly, you begin to see not with your eyes, but with your awareness. So if darkness comes, whether on a date, in a season, or within your soul, do not flee from it. Sit with it, because the one who learns to see in the dark no longer fears what the light may reveal. Presence over panic is not a suggestion, it is a discipline. In moments of chaos, the ordinary mind rushes. It clings to what is slipping, it resists what is coming, and in doing so, it loses its center. But presence is the art of remaining with what is, exactly as it is, without adding the noise of fear. When a storm arises, the leaves tremble, but the mountain does not move. The mountain is not unaware of the storm, it simply does not react. This is presence. It is not a denial of what is happening around you. It is the refusal to be ruled by it. Panic is a reaction. It is the product of a mind disconnected from breath, from body, from now. It seeks to escape the moment it inhabits, but presence is a return to the breath, a return to the step beneath your foot, a return to the silence between thoughts. Presence requires practice. It is built in stillness when there is no crisis, so that when the crisis comes, you already know the way back to yourself. Without this preparation, even a small wave can drown you. With it, Even a storm can pass over you like wind through tall grass. To choose presence over panic is to reclaim your inner authority. It is to say, even if the world around me trembles, I will not. This is not stubbornness, it is awareness. It is strength born not from resistance, but from alignment. Every breath is a doorway back to presence, and the more often you walk through it, the less panic can touch you. The world may shake, but you remain rooted, breathing, awake. This is how stillness becomes power. Awareness is the real light, not the kind that shines from the sun or a lamp, but the kind that illuminates the inner landscape silently, steadily. It does not flicker in the wind. It does not depend on the time of day. It is always there, waiting for you to notice it. When everything around you goes dark, when your plans collapse, your relationships shift, or the world seems uncertain, you may search for something to guide you. Most look outward. They look for answers in other people, in opinions, in movement, in noise. But nothing external can truly show you the way unless your own awareness is awake. Awareness is the light that does not blind. It does not overwhelm, it simply reveals. It brings clarity not through intensity, but through presence. It shows you your thoughts without judging them. It allows you to feel emotion without becoming lost in it. It is the silent witness that sees the waves rise and fall, yet remains untouched by the water. This light cannot be bought or borrowed. It is earned through stillness, cultivated through breath, strengthened through attention. When you walk, walk with awareness. When you speak, be aware of your words. When you sit, notice how the body rests, how the breath moves. These are not small things. They are the foundation. Without awareness, even in daylight, a person stumbles. But with awareness, even in darkness, one walks with certainty. It is not the absence of challenge that brings peace, it is the presence of inner clarity. So tend to your awareness, keep it sharp like a blade, gentle like a breeze. When all else fades, it will remain, and in that light you will find not only direction but also peace. Fear and training are not enemies. They are companions on the same path. One reveals the truth, the other builds the strength to face it. Fear arises when the unknown appears before an unprepared mind. It whispers uncertainty, amplifies danger, and clouds judgment. But training is the steady practice of becoming familiar with discomfort, until what once frightened you becomes something you can stand within. The body that has never been tested trembles easily. The mind that has never been disciplined scatters quickly. But the one who trains not only in movement, but in stillness, in breath, in thought, begins to see fear not as a wall, but as a mirror. It shows you where your limits are. It also shows you what you still avoid. Training is the art of meeting fear before fear meets you. It is showing up every day, even when there is no threat, no crisis, no pressure, because you understand that when challenge comes, your body and mind should not be strangers to the experience. They should recognize the rhythm. They should know how to breathe, how to stay, how to see clearly. Fear by itself causes reaction, flinch, retreat, freeze. But fear met with training creates space. It allows for a pause, for breath, for presence. In that moment you decide not out of panic, but from clarity. Those who have trained know fear never fully disappears, but its power changes. It no longer controls. It becomes a signal, not a master, and with each step through it, confidence grows, not the loud kind, but the kind rooted in truth. You do not need to be fearless. You need to be ready, and readiness comes not from wishing, but from training one breath, one step, one day at a time. Darkness is not the enemy. It is the space where true growth becomes possible. It strips away the distractions, the noise, the lights that deceive. In the absence of the visible, something deeper awakens, the invisible strength that lives within you. We often wait for perfect conditions to begin. We wait for light, for clarity, for certainty, but the path rarely offers these gifts at the start. Darkness is the beginning. It is the invitation to move without guarantees, to trust the step even when the destination is hidden. The seed begins in darkness, the warrior is shaped in the unseen hours. The deepest wisdom is not spoken in loud rooms, it is heard in silence, in solitude, in uncertainty. When you are surrounded by not knowing, by silence, by inner questioning, do not rush to escape. Sit with it, because in that very stillness, something begins to move. Darkness forces you to feel not just what is happening outside, but what is true within. It removes comfort, and in doing so, reveals whether your peace was real or borrowed from convenience. It shows you where your mind hides and where your spirit must grow stronger. Do not ask the darkness to leave. Ask yourself, what can I learn here? Every challenge hidden in shadow carries a lesson. Every silence holds a message. Every pause conceals potential. When the outer light disappears, do not panic. Bow to the moment, breathe deeply. Let your senses awaken. Let your awareness expand. What is born in darkness does not fade with the sun, it becomes part of you. So walk through it, not in fear, but in openness, not with resistance, but with readiness. For it is often in the darkest times that the clearest transformation begins. So when they say the world will be plunged into darkness on August 2, do not merely look to the sky. Look inward. Let the thought of darkness not bring panic, but presence. Let it remind you that true clarity does not come from light, but from awareness. Fear may rise, but with preparation, discipline, and inner stillness, you do not have to be shaken. Darkness is not the end. It is an invitation to train, to observe, to transform. And when the sun returns, those who remained awake through the night will carry a new strength. Not one borrowed from the outside, but one discovered within.